난 소샤가 esta casa.
I am pleased. It doesn't matter how it turns out. You drew it for me, Master. Whether it's good or bad is irrelevant. I would... But the moonlight shining through the stained glass was so enchanting. I lost myself in it. I would be happy with anything drawn from me by the man I love. Well, damn, she just came out and said it. For an instant, time froze. By the time I realized what I had said, my mind had gone blank and I couldn't form a coherent thought. I mean, like family. You're like an older brother to me. Yeah. I meant love, like love for a brother. Uh, hey, say something, Master. Give me your usual exasperated sigh. Come on now. Go on, give me your best. Good grief, then hurl me out the window. Oh, come on, please. Show me some disappointment. Master? When the wood panel he was using as a canvas and the charcoal in his hand crashed through the hard chapel floor, the clattering was so loud I jumped.
Watch there be nothing on the canvas.
I didn't have the presence of mind to wonder why he had knocked over the canvas, or why his hands appeared to be shaking. Let me help you with that. I stepped towards him, and when I did, the moonlight shining down upon us testified, and our gazes of jade and ruby intertwined. Oh, it's both lit up now.
Ooh.
Oh gosh!
Whoa!
There was a visible rosiness in his ethereally pale cheeks. Master! Flickers of panic darted beneath the surface of his normally stony red eyes. They were trembling as he looked over at me. I'm trying very hard not. You know what? I'm just gonna stare.
Them. Wow.
Giselle, you're Gisette. They were trembling as he looked over at me. I was at a loss for words. We must have been under the moon's spell. We weren't thinking. We stood alone in a frozen world, robbed of all rational thought. Riding the moonlight's current, his hand fell against my cheek. It was much colder than I had expected, but it felt pleasant on my flushed skin. They are really adorable. As we drew closer, I could feel the warmth emanating from his body, and I'm sure he could feel mine. The beating of my heart, too. His breathing stopped for a moment, then he gulped. He brought his head in. I closed my eyes and... Aw, yeah. Then I shoved him away with all my strength. Ah!
Is she choking him?
I think she just shoved him away. Michelle rolled back, knocked his head on the side of a pew, and began groaning in pain, which is when I finally realized what I had done. Hello, Smog. What have you done, Giselle? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
Is that the nut button?
Yes. Are you hurt?
I'm fine.
Sorry, you startled me. I really, truly didn't mean to knock you down.
Is he bleeding?
Not. I can't tell.
Oh. You should go back to your room. I'm sorry for all the trouble I've caused you tonight.
What?
Get some rest. Good night.
Oh. He turned away, marching off into the corridor enshrouded in darkness. There was a heavy air of loneliness hanging over him, which gave rise to phantom images of him actually disappearing into the darkness. I had caused that, but I hadn't realized until it was too late. I felt like someone was sitting on my chest. Why would I ever do that to him? Of course I'm going to hurt him reacting like that. Maybe I was hoping he would say it was just one of his jokes. Do I want it to be a joke? I had that option. I could pretend nothing had ever happened and tomorrow go back to the way things were before. But if I did that, there would almost certainly never be a second chance. Yeah, I appreciate that. You were okay with it. You wanted it, Giselle. Quit lying to yourself. You're the one who said you loved him. And that was no mistake. You wouldn't sit shoulder to shoulder and read a book with someone you didn't care for. You wouldn't enjoy eating supper with someone you didn't like. You wouldn't be able to live happily with someone you didn't love. You have to go after him, find him, and tell him the truth.
What am I doing, for God's sake? I'm not in my right mind. Something about me was off today. I couldn't control myself. I was saying things I didn't mean, doing things I didn't intend to. I had never meant to. But at this point, I had no choice but to admit my feelings. I couldn't pretend I didn't know what they were anymore. How long had I felt this way? A week? A month? 6 months? Or maybe a full year? Had they already developed when we started anew? No, the when didn't matter. It didn't change the facts. I was still attracted to her, regardless of when it had begun. But she pushed me away, quite literally. I sighed at myself. Why should I be disappointed? She was nothing like me. I was reclusive and unsociable. She was the exact opposite. She was the kind of person who would confidently tell someone how she felt. Like she just did. And she had done, oh, okay. Said I was like a brother. But I hadn't listened. As a matter of fact, could I have been any more presumptuous? I don't deserve to love anyone. It's better this way.
Master!
Oh, God.
Michelle looks so stoned, I gotta say though. I just noticed that.
He's not even looking at her. I told you to go back to your room.
Master, I need you to listen to me, okay?
What?
About what just happened. That doesn't count. You can't count any of that.
Huh?
That I said I loved you and that I shoved you. They don't count.
Right. I was planning to forget that anyway. So don't worry.
No, that's not what I meant. What I'm saying is that it's not something I should have said on whim just because the moonlight was kind of pretty tonight. It wasn't supposed to be so casual. The way I said it doesn't get across at all how much I really care about you. It should have been something with more impact, rather. Me looking you straight into your eyes, my heart jumping around like it's on fire. That's how I should have said it.
What are you?
I'm saying, I want you to give me one more chance to do it right.
Giselle.
I
Calm yourself.
I am calm!
In no sense of the word are you calm.
Fine, then I'm not calm, but I am clear-headed. I mean every last word. Listen very carefully. I love you. I love you so much I feel like my heart is going to explode.
What? Huh? You mean like family? Like a brother, right?
Romantic love! Romantic!
What?
I wasn't upset back there. No, I was elated.
What? My mind couldn't keep up with what it was hearing. Half out of breath where she stood. Just I was frankly insisting that she loved me. Was I dreaming?
Master? How do you... I would like to hear how you feel about me. Assuming I interpreted that correctly, you were going in for a kiss back up there, right? Right? So I can take that as your answer.
Giselle looked up at me with bleary eyes. She had feelings. For me. It was a miracle. He is like internally 14 years old. I could hardly breathe. It felt like someone had stuck their hand in my chest and was squeezing my heart.
That's kind of what I'm
I just
thinking.
had to stay. Yes. And the smile would spread across her face. Huh?
No, never mind. That would have been in very bad taste.
Now say it.
No! I'll tell you
Say
privately afterwards.
More like 10. I could bring her joy, and all it would take was a single word. I had no reason to say no. My happiness was standing right there in front of me. What more could I ask for? All I had to do was reach out and claim it for myself. I had tried to... I'm sorry, I looked at his face again and remember that he looked stoned. I had tried to do exactly that in the chapel, and I could do it again. I loved her. I was a twisted man, cast out of the world and left with nothing. I had no way to make her happy. But still, Don't tell me you've forgotten what you are. Is this the witch?
I think that's him, like, speaking to himself. Tell me!
There was no moonlight to give me that nudge. Do not feel that way about you. You idiot!
What?
I got confused for a moment. I apologize for the misunderstanding that seems to have caused. All the color drained from her like a flower wilting before my eyes. A heavy sigh spilled from her lips. Her jade eyes swayed lifelessly back and forth.
Automod! Automod, let Vap say fucking idiot.
Continue. I hadn't thought Mira could possibly have such weight. But she looked as though I had just told her she was about to be executed.
I see. I'm sorry. I let it get to my head. Uh, uh, sorry for making such a racket. Really, God, what was I thinking? I got way ahead of myself there.
How do you pronounce it? Foe?
Yep.
Her faux energy hurt to watch. I had hurt her, and this was the result. You wanted to protect yourself, even if it meant hurting her. But look at where that got you. You would have been better off just going with it. Because when she learned the truth, she would have pushed you away anyway. I think this is Morgana talking to him.
Might be. Yeah, might be. I'm sorry. I'll be going now. Sorry for barging in on you like that.
She made her way into the shadows toward the door. There, you did it. You preserved your peace. I got the feeling she would never again turn back. Your mistake was ever getting close to anyone. What I had always wanted was right there in front of me, and I was so close to obtaining it. And you pushed her away. I actually did love her. She would never love the real you. No, she couldn't. You're disgusting. I can't believe you actually had the gall to fall for me. Is this
I'm
the
guessing this
hell?
is someone else. I'm guessing this might have, because he did mention that he had once had feelings for someone else in the past.
Oh!
Good night, Master.
She was leaving. I wanted her here, and she was leaving. I simply had to acknowledge my feelings, and she would come back. Was I really content to let her go? In my weakness, I mistreated her. I hurt her. I let her go, and I was about to lose her. Even though she said she loved me. And I felt the same way. Wait, please don't go. Your voice is shaking like a scared child's. What are you hoping to tell her like that? I. She was different. She was probably, no, she absolutely was nothing like anyone in my past. She won't be any different. I decided I would try just one more time. To believe in myself and to believe in someone else. I lied. Just now, from the bottom of my heart, You'll. No, I won't. I sincerely love you. The fragrance of rose enveloped me. Her arms, wrapped around my chest, were both imbued with strength and shaking like mad, as though the slightest touch might shatter them. I watched a video of what the inside of a dishwasher looked like when it was on.
Ooh.
So you're on the same path, Smog.
Why? Why didn't you just say so in the first place?
She said in a quavering, sniveling voice just inches from my ear. I lack sufficient control over my body or mind to return her embrace, to run my hands through her hair, to do anything more than support her weight. I'm sorry.
Jerk, bully, brute. You don't get to play this one off as a joke.
I am truly, sincerely sorry.
You've given me two different stories. Tell me which one's the truth. Were you just confused, or do you actually love me? I want to hear you say it again.
The truth is, I love you.
Again,
I love you.
without fumbling this time.
I love you, as I've said several times now.
Not good enough again.
Have mercy, please. I'm about to die of humiliation. Is she has snot coming down her nose?
A little, yeah. Can I really believe you this time? You're not going to say you were lying again.
No, I won't.
Then we feel the same way about each other. Hello, Monica.
Funny enough.
What's there to be shocked about?
I didn't think there was anything likable about me.
Ugh, you really have to do something about that pessimism.
Monica. I'll try.
I'm in heaven. I'm so happy I could cry.
You are all over me.
Oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness. When you first said no, everything went black. I wasn't sure what I would do anymore. I had lost all hope.
I really, really do feel bad about that.
But you had a change of heart. Now you're willing to have me.
Yes.
And everything I bring with me.
That was the idea. I don't like this specific art because it looks like she's opening up like her chest area for him.
Yeah.
And even though that's not what's happening, and I keep like looking down there and like, whoa, why is she opening up her shirt? That's not the scene.
Yeah. And like it's still beautifully drawn, but there's just so many things. Like I still can't get over Michelle's stone book. I wanted a hug, CG. Absolutely everything, right?
You're pushing that point rather hard.
I have a request.
Hmm.
It's something I don't think I could ask you at any time, but now, while we're in the moment.
I will do anything so long as it's within my ability. Tell me, what is it?
Will you look at my naked body?
Okay, well, I mean, I guess that fits the CG now.
Maybe that's exactly what she was doing.
What?
More specifically, my scars. You are going to have to see them eventually. In which case, I would like that to be now.
A year ago, I had refused to look at her scars. I had been certain I wouldn't be able to accept that what they represented. The abuse my father had subjected her to. If possible, I would have preferred never having to face that. But I, more than anyone, needed to know. It was my responsibility. I had to accept reality, nor grimace or avert my eyes. I had to face up to what had been done to her. Okay. I couldn't bring myself to look at her as she hesitantly disrobed. The sound of her clothes rustling made me feel as though I was doing something incredibly improper. As much as I tried to feign calm, I was so tense my joints were practically creaking and my heart felt like it was being stepped on. I feel like I'm made of stone.
I'm ready. You can turn around.
Alright. I'll count to 10. She's laughing at me.
I feel a whole lot better seeing you so nervous.
I'm turning around.
Okay.
Her head was tilted down just enough to keep me from making out her expression, but she couldn't hide the pink flush spreading across her cheek. It contrasted well against her white, but not excessively pale skin, as did her jet black hair.
I hope this CG doesn't last too long. I don't know how that. You know what? Let me get something real quick, because I don't know if Twitch would be okay with this. Fuck. I'm probably just making it last even longer on this. I have a censor thing somewhere. Sorry, folks. I don't want Twitch yelling at us.
Smog.
Oh, fuck. Very sorry, folks. Sorry, it's not anything nicer to look at.
In what way was this not a pleasant sight? I'd never been more entranced by anything in my entire life. She was stunning. I had no measure of comparison, but I was certain the same sight of any other woman in the world would not have had the same effect on me. I could say as much with confidence, despite having never seen another woman nude. Hypnotized, I couldn't take my eyes off the gentle curves of her body. Were I more socially inclined, perhaps I could have told her she was, which perhaps would have brought a sheepish smile to her face. And though I wanted to, my throat was dry as dust, and all I could manage to produce were incoherent rasps.
Please. Please say something. I'm hideous, aren't I? I'm unclean.
You're not hideous.
You mean it.
I mean it. Why would you think so?
Because
You are not unclean, not in the slightest.
You mean it.
I do.
Even seeing this. Giselle's eyes slid downward, a trace of fear lurking just beneath the surface. Whoops, sorry. I'm just so desperate to get through this.
Following her lead, I dropped my gaze to her lower body. And there, I saw her scars. Swollen, red and black ashes, still not healed after more than a year, defiled her white flesh. As she had described for me, the lines were arranged to form letters to her skin. What the? So that's why she said I would have to see them eventually. My instincts told me these were wounds she would carry for the rest of her life. I felt nauseous, heartbroken, infuriated at the fact that the person who had done this was out of my reach, at the fact that I could do nothing for her. What went through my father's mind when he looked at these? What did he gain from giving her these wounds? Why did he have to do this to her? Why my father? Giselle was the one with the scars. Giselle was the one in pain. But I felt like someone had shoved a handful of needles into my chest. Dozens of thick metal stakes piercing the walls of my heart. Bloodstreams. If I didn't force myself to face it, I was liable to run. What was the right thing to say? What was I supposed to tell her? As hard as I thought, I couldn't come up with an answer. All I came up with was intense frustration. It killed me that I couldn't take these scars from her. That I couldn't give my father a piece of my mind. You are in no way hideous, no matter what marks are left on your body. It took all I had to form that single sentence.
Thank goodness. I'm so glad to hear that. When I was down in the village, they said it didn't matter what they did to me because I was already dirty. That made me think I had reached the point where I was so tainted. Anyone could see it. I'm sorry.
Why should you apologize?
You were frowning really intensely. I thought I might have made you mad.
No, I'm not angry at you. I'm angry at my father, the villagers, and myself. May I touch them?
You may.
My hands were trembling, but I knew I wouldn't be doing her any favors by hesitating. As soon as my fingertips brushed her skin, she shuddered. Does it hurt?
No. There hasn't been pain in some time.
I could feel her trembling where I touched her. It didn't seem like it was going to subside anytime soon. Soon, she began whimpering softly. Her lips moved as though she was trying to say something, but the best she managed was a few stray gasps. Tears had begun welling up in her eyes as well.
I feel like I'm in heaven right now, but I also kind of hate myself.
Hate yourself, but why?
Because I can't stop shaking. I'm overjoyed to feel your touch, but I can't control my body. I know you're nothing like that, but I keep seeing flashes of you doing other things in my mind. It kills me that my body won't react the way I feel in my heart.
I was foolish to have ever thought these wounds might have healed. Just as scars remained on her body, so too did they remain in her heart. Unlike the physical wounds, though, the ones inside her seemed to still be raw and bleeding. She just did a good job of acting normal that I'd begun to think she might have gotten past them. Of course not. You shoved me back there because it brought back.
Let's restart call.
Okay. Yeah, everyone's home and like using Netflix and stuff, so.
Oh, I gotcha. Can you take this line again?
He shoved me back there because it brought back those memories.
That's right. I'm sorry. I'm really, truly sorry.
Why are you apologizing? I should be the one. Do you have any desire to place a curse on him?
What?
Do you want to curse and I forget, Antonin?
Antonin.
If you so desire. I might be able to make it happen. Cast a curse on him, perhaps even a fatal one. Ignore the fact that he's my father. I don't consider that man family anymore. I want you to be honest with me. If, hypothetically, such a thing were possible, would you want to curse him?
No, I would not want that.
Why not? You have every right to take revenge. For what that man did, he deserves punishment. He inflicted so much pain on you. You're still shaking more than a year later. And you could just let him get away with it out of the goodness of your heart. Hypothetically, if you wanted to curse him, I
wouldn't do it, even hypothetically. And not out of the goodness of my heart. I'm just a coward.
A coward?
If curses were real and he were to die by one, then I would never, ever be able to forget. If my resentment for him took his life, that would mean he had damaged me so permanently I was never able to get past it. I don't want that. I want to be able to forget. I'm still shaking now, but one day I want to be able to proclaim proudly that it no longer has any control over me. But I appreciate the sentiment. Setting aside your choice of method, you asked out of concern, and that's more than enough for me.
A soft smile started across her lips, but what inspired in me was powerlessness. She was putting on an act. Was the sentiment really more than enough? Of course not. Not when she was still trembling so much. But what was I to do? What was I, unable to leave this house and helpless against the will of the Bollingers, to do? I was incapable of massaging her. Massaging her pain, wasn't I? I couldn't do anything. But before I throw in the towel, I need to take some real time to think. To stop running from the problem. To figure out a real way to give her what she wants. That doesn't involve curses and angry words. There has to be something only I can do. Giselle? I took the hand that had been tracing her scars and slid it around her waist. Even now, her trembling showed no signs of abating. I will never. The one thing I could do, hurt you again, was to wrap her trembling body in my arms. I want you here with me. All I ask for you now is to be at my side. You can be scared and you can quiver, but please don't apologize for it. Please don't feel bad about it. I promise not to turn my head away from your pain. So I ask of you, try not to keep it buried. I have no power or influence. I don't know all the right things to say. I am a man with nothing to his name. But the one thing I do have is a heartfelt desire to do whatever I can for you. As soon as I tighten my grip around her waist, she lurched forward, throwing her arms around me. Muffled whimpers resonated against my shoulder where she had buried her head. Eventually, they grew into unfettered sobs. My bedchamber was enveloped in the sound of weeping. She cried like a little child. The usually strong-willed, cheerful, optimistic Giselle wailed from the depths of her soul. This past year, she had constantly been nudging me forward. It was always her leading the way. There had undoubtedly been one to cry like this, but couldn't. So starting now, I was going to try and support her too. I was sure I would mess something up, as I had little experience being caring. I would probably anger her, probably stress her out, and probably make her cry.
Oops, sorry.
I had found my resolve. I had overcome my hesitation. I was sure I could do it. That I could create a place where she could find peace. I could surely... Giselle didn't stop crying until the sun had begun peeking over the horizon. You're free! I had, as I did not look away, simply holding her in silence. She had a decidedly not childlike frame, but she seemed incredibly small in my arms. We felt each other's warmth through my clothes. Between sniffles, Giselle said softly,
Well, bring it back up.
It's just this line, though.
One day I'm certain I'll be able to, without any hesitation, be properly joined with you, and it will be wonderful. Right now, I can't control the shaking, but eventually, I want to be able to put my hands on you too.
The affection infused in me just palpable. Sometime later, she drifted off to sleep, exhausted. I prayed from the bottom of my heart that at least tonight she would have pleasant dreams.
Alright, now we can take you off.
Morning. No, afternoon?
Master! Good morning.
Let me rejoin the call. My internet's like screwing up.
Alright. Now we're near the end.
Good morning.
Hello?
Hello, hello?
Oh, come on. Put a little more oomph into it.
Same Giselle as always.
I must say, last night was something, Master. I didn't know you had that in you. Just thinking about it. Ow! That hurt! What was that for?
I was struck with an insatiable urge to whack you.
Whatever
My
happened
stage-
to your heartfelt desire to do whatever you can for me? I don't think hitting me counts.
You're tough enough to get over a little bump.
Mm. You were being so nice yesterday. Where did that all go?
So, would you like me to explain dirty jokes first thing in the morning? Or would you like to explain, not me?
Yeah, just... I was trying to lighten the mood to hide my embarrassment.
Fair enough. Alright, but could you not joke about that in the future? I didn't actually do anything to you.
No, you didn't. Sorry. Say, could I ask you something?
Yes?
You hardly ever use my name. It makes us feel so distant. Could you do something about that, maybe? What?
Oh god, not that one!
No! That is not you at all. Just go with my name, please. We graduated from a master-servant relationship to a romantic relationship, but that is a bit much.
Romantic relationship.
Exactly.
Michelle.exe has stopped working.
Exactly. So, in honor of the new us, let's make this last, alright, Michelle?
Alright. At the time, the light that had entered our lives seemed unreal and fantastical.
Huh, I think I'm suddenly hovering over Monica's name, right-clicking to, oh, the ban, so the ban option.
Somebody say.
No.
But I prayed that it would last.
And I think we will go ahead and leave it right there. Oh, so we had like largely momentary happiness in this
Yeah,
stream, which means that yeah, I
that's how
expect
it works.
that's how it works. Yep. Expect not so nice things are ahead. Ah, well, thank you everyone who joined us. Again, this was a stream for Extra Life, which is a fundraising campaign to raise money for children's hospitals. If you look below, you will see our link. Let me get Nightbot to put it there in chat as well. That will take you directly to the Extra Life website and our donation page. All the money that we raise is going to the Dayton Hospital in Ohio. And right now we are at $150, which means we're halfway through our goal of $300. So if you have even $1 to donate, that'd be great. We won't be streaming this Thursday because of Thanksgiving, but we'll be back here next Tuesday. Have a good one, folks. Bye bye.
That it has the same type of magic power as us, spirits. Unfortunately, we aren't powerful enough to destroy it. Young man, I see that you have a strong will that could withstand the evil power. And also a clear, kind heart. You might be able to fight against the darkness it generates. I decided to stake our fate on you. Let me bless you with the power. Ta-da! I give you this cute little bracelet thing. There, surprised? That's called Atlamilia. It's a stone with a magical power. Oh, don't look that way, boy. I'll explain it. I'll explain now. It might get too bright for your eyes for a moment. About to get bright for our eyes, too. This mechanic in the game is so good. Like, it makes, like, 9/10 of the experience. Do you know where this is? This is no simple empty lot. This was your village. But do not lose heart. As long as you have that stone, you can return it to its original form. You see, just before the village was destroyed by the genie, I saved the buildings and people by sealing them into spheres called Atla. It seems those Atla were scattered all around by its tremendous magic power. They were probably blown to different places around the world. It probably thinks everything is destroyed. You must restore the world before it realizes what happened.